Hello students and welcome to the video lecture series of web programming. Today's topic is HTML table. I am your instructor Ms. Shruti Rawal. So let us start with today's outline. The things that we are going to study in today's lecture is, the first thing is we are going to study what do you mean by table in HTML. The next thing that we are going to study is the caption tag in table. The next thing we are going to study is row span and col span attributes of table. And the last topic for today's lecture will be attributes in table. Okay, so let us start with our first topic, that is table in HTML. Now you may have seen lots of web pages in website, and you may have observed that there are some contents which are organized in row and column way, right? So whenever you want such an organization in a web page, HTML table allows the web authors to arrange data such as text, images, links, and also other tables in this row and column format. Okay, now you may wonder that, ma'am, we want to organize this data, that is we want to organize this images, text, links, etc. in the table that is in row and columns format, but how to do so? So if you want to create a table, the HTML tag that you have to use for creating a table, the parent tag is table. Okay, so you have to write table start tag and end tag, then only you can write the other child tags, as a result of which a table will be created. Now let us see what are the child tags that you need to write. We know that table consists of rows, that is horizontal rows, and vertical columns. So if you want to create rows in table, you have to write which tag? Here you have to write TR tag. TR stands for table row, right? So for example, if you have a table which has 4 rows, you will have 4 TR tag, that is you will have TR start, TR end one time. Similarly, you will have 4 times TR, right? Now what is left? Exactly, the columns is left, but we are not explicitly defining the column, but instead of that we are defining the table data, that is in one row how many columns or how many data you want to write, right, in the vertical format. Now this is defined by which tag? TD, and TD stands for table data. Now this is a lots of information without any syntax, do not get confused. We are going to see an example, but you need to understand that if you are writing TD, that TD will basically have a regular text which is left aligned. So now you get an idea that if you want to create a table, there should be a table tag. Inside table you have to write the TR tag. Number of TR tag is equal to the number of rows that you want in your table, and per row how many data do you want, how many columns do you want, that you have to write in TD. So table is the parent tag, then you have the child tag TR, and inside the TR the child tag is TD, right? So this is the hierarchy of table. Now let us see syntax of table. For that, this is a code, and this is the table that I want to create. So here you can see that I have 3 rows, right? So the first row consists of first name, last name. The second row consists of the names, and the third row also consists of first name, last name, values. Now here you can see that I have total 3 rows and I have 2 columns vertically. So per row I have to write some data or some value. Okay, so we have already gone through the theoretical syntax of table. Let us do this practically. Now here you can see this is table. So in the syntax you know that you have to write the table tag. So I have written table start tag and table end tag. Now this indicates that I want to create a table on a web page, right? The next thing, after writing the parent table tag, you have to decide or you have to write what is the first row. So you have to write the first TR. Okay, so this is the first TR. This first name, last name consists of the first TR. But the data inside this first row is not written inside a TR. So get this very clear that if you are starting TR and if you are ending TR, you cannot directly write this first name and last name. Whenever you want to write the data or value of a particular row and column, you have to use TD tag. So the value is compulsory and mandatorily written inside TD, right? So here I have declared TR start and TR end, which indicates this first row. Now you have to count that inside this first row, how many columns do I have? You have 2 columns, it is very much visible, right? So first name, this particular cell, that particular cell consists of first column, and last name cell consists of second column. So here, as you can see, for the first column, or you can say for the first cell, I have written TH. Now what is the difference between TH and TD? Only visual difference between TH and TD is there. No, you can say semantically there is no difference. Both are doing one and the same. They are defining the table data, or they are defining the values in the cell. But if you write TD inside TR, by default the text will be left aligned and it will be normal text. Whereas if you write TH instead of TD, then you can see that the text is bold and it is center aligned, right? So whenever you have such headings inside a table, you can use TH instead of TD, right? So I have written TH start, TH end, and the first cell's value I have written inside the first TH, that is first name. Similarly, you can see that there is another cell in the first row itself, that is last name. So for this particular cell, also it is in the first row, so that also I have to write in the first row only, right? It is a child tag of the first row. So last name is also written inside the TH tag start and TH tag end. The value is written inside TH, right? TH stands for table heading. So this completes my first row, wherein I have declared a parent tag TR. Inside TR I have 2 TH. Inside both the TH I have written the value which I want to get displayed inside this particular cell. Similarly, you can see that now I have a second row. For second row you have declared second TR. I told you already that you have to declare TR as many as times as you want the rows in your table. So here you can clearly see there are 3 rows in my table. So 3 times I have to declare TR. So first TR we have seen, that is completed. Now we have second TR, and second TR also consists of how many columns? 2 columns. Very good. So for first column you can see that I have declared TD instead of TH, because now you can see that I don't want to write my text in bold and center aligned. I want it just normal text with left alignment, right? So you can go for TD for the normal data instead of TH. So I have replaced the TH tag with TD tag, but the syntax is same and I have put the value inside my TD. Now also in this row you have another cell that you can see, and you have another data. So another TD tag is to be written inside this TR, and the value is also written, right? Also this follows a particular chronological order from top left to right bottom. So whatever row you want to get displayed first, that row's content you have to write first into the table. HTML by default follows this structure, that if you are writing TD and inside TD first name, and then you are writing TD last name, this first name will be displayed on the left hand side, last name will be displayed on the right hand side. Why? Because it is following top left to right bottom order by default. This is the chronological order that table or any HTML structure follows by default, right? Now second row is also completed. Now we are left with only third row, right? So for third row also I have to declare a TR tag and I have to close my TR tag. Now you can see that in the third row also you have 2 cells or 2 columns, and inside the columns I have 2 values. So for that I am declaring 2 TD tags again, and inside TD I am writing values. So this is the basic structure of simple table without any complexity, where you have 3 rows and 2 columns, and inside the cells you have some data, right? I hope this syntax is clear. Now let us shift to the next tag in table, that is caption tag. What do you mean by caption? Caption is basically the title of your table, and you may use this caption tag, and if you want to specify a title of your table, the tag that you have to use is caption, right? So as the name suggests, it is basically the caption of your table. Caption element must be placed directly after the opening table tag. It means we have already seen the syntax of table, so you know that the first thing that you write is table starting tag. If you want to put a caption, it is totally optional, but if you want to put a caption for your table, it should be directly placed after the table tag, right? By default, caption appears at the top of the table, but if you want, you can change its position through CSS. We are not changing it through any HTML attributes, right? Now here you can see that this is a simple table, and I have this caption tag students record over here, right? So whenever you are specifying a caption, this is how it will look. The caption will be displayed in the top center center of the table, right? So this was all about caption tag. Now we have already seen a simple table, but there are certain tables which are not that simple and which are a little bit complex. It means you have a table in which two rows are combined, and that means two rows are spanned. Also, you may have a table in which two columns are combined, that is two columns are spanned. For such types of table, you have to use the attributes row span and col span. You cannot directly write the simple table syntax, right? So let us see this complex tables. So this is an example of a table which is having row span. How? Let us see. You can see that you can count the rows, right? It is actually having 3 rows. The first row is consisting of name, age. The second row is consisting of Shruti and this 24. And the third row is also consisting of Dhruvi and 24. Right. So this is basically an example wherein if you come to the second row, you can see that in second row, the second cell or the second column is a bit complex. It is not visibly a normal table. Why is it so? Because you have combined this Shruti and Dhruvi's row and you have made this one cell. That is known as row span. When you combine two rows to make a column, that is known as row span. When you combine two columns to make a row, that is known as a column span. So here you can see that the first row is a normal row which consists of two columns, name and age. So that is very simple to write, we know that. But what is difficult? Exactly, the second row. The second row's first column is normal. It consists of Shruti as a data. But the second row's second column is a spanned column which consists of two rows combination. That is known as a row span. Also, the third row. In third row, you do not have any column. Why? Because this row span attribute will be written inside the second row only. So whenever you are specifying the third TR and whenever you are specifying the columns inside your third TR, that is you will be specifying the first column Dhruvi. You don't need to specify the spanned column, right? So that is redundancy because already you have specified in the second row that my second column is spanned and it is basically the combination of second row and third row. That you have already specified in the second row. You don't need to write the TD in your third row. Let us see another example. Here also this is an example of row span wherein you can see that the first row is a normal row which consists of 3 TD, right? So you have 1 TR and you have 3 TD. Inside TD you have SR number, department and staff. Now you have second column. So this is SR number, department and staff. Then you have second column. Also in second column you can see that it is also a normal table or simple table wherein nothing is spanned or combined. You have second row and you have 3 columns. Inside 3 columns the first TD is consisting of 1, second TD is consisting of CE and third TD is consisting of SKR, right? Then you have third row. Now you can see in third row that in third row first column, first TD is 2, but in third row the second column is spanned. You can see that this department, that is IT, is basically a column which is the combination of second row and third row, right? So you are combining two rows and making this one column. This is a row span. In third row, the next column is HSM, that is again a normal column. The next thing is fourth row. In fourth row, the first TD is again normal, which is 3. But you know that already in the upper row, that is in the third row, we have written the second column as span. So recall in this example that I told you that if you have written row span in the previous TR, you don't need to specify it again. So in this fourth row, your second column does not need to be specified at all. So what will be the TD attributes that you will specify? Only the first TD attribute, that is 3, and the last TD attribute, that is AKT, will be specified. The second column is already been spanned, it is combined into the third column. You have already returned the row span attribute, it does not need redundancy. The last column, or you can say the last row, is again the simple tables structure, in which you have the fifth row and you have 3 columns, right? So first column or first TD is 4, second TD is EC, and third TD is JRP, right? So that is your last row. Now let us see the syntax of our table that we have just seen, right? So for one table, I'll tell you what is the syntax. For the next table that we have seen, I have already told you the structure. That is an homework. You need to write the code for the next table. Okay. So for this table, let us see what is the syntax. You know that for creating a table, we need a parent tag table. So this is the table tag in which I have a table start and table end. Now you know that in this table you have the first row to be specified. So we will go row by row. We are taking first row, and for first row we know that I have to specify a TR tag. So I have written TR start and TR end, right? Also remember, no values should be returned inside TR. So table data is to be strictly written either inside TH or inside TD. Many times students do this mistake that in examination they write TR and inside TR they write the values. That is totally incorrect. You have to be precise in writing the table structure. So TR is just a format which specifies that now you are going to write the table data inside TR. So I have specified the first TR. Now you can see that in first TR there are 2 TD, right? There are 2 columns which are normal column, nothing is spanned. So tell me the syntax exactly. So the first TD is having name and the second TD is having age. Now yes, instead of TD I have written TH because again this is the text which I want in bold letters as well as I want it center aligned. This is a table heading, right? So I have written this in TH instead of TD so that visually it looks like table heading. So this completes my row 1 of my particular table. Now let us jump to row 2. For row 2, you know that you have a second row to be defined that needs to be defined in a TR start and TR complete. So this is TR start and TR complete tag that I have written in second row, but you can clearly see in the figure that in second row the first column is normal. So first column consists of TD, normal TD, and inside that I have written data Shruti. But you can see that in the second row the second column is spanned. It is the combination of second and third row, and you have this cell which is a combination of 2 rows, right? So I told you when you are combining 2 rows and you are creating a column that needs which attribute? Exactly, row span attribute. So here comes the row span attribute. So we will write here TD, right? So that is the tag that we have to write because we want to write some data inside it. Which data it is? Yes, you have to write 24 as data inside. So TD is the tag you are using. Row span is basically an attribute. Attribute is, again, I've already discussed what is attribute. Attribute is a property of any tag which enhances the basic characteristics of the tag, right? So what does row span do here? Row span basically is telling the TD that this column, that is the column with data 24, is basically spanning two rows. Spanning, it means it is combining two rows so that you display it on the web page such that the rows are spanned and you have a cell or a column which combines both of these rows, right? So TD, you have a space and then you are writing row span is equal to, you have to write a numeric number. Now what is this number? This is the number of rows which you are combining or spanning. So in our case, you can visually see that you are combining two rows and making one column. So row span is equal to 2. If it was the case in which I was combining 3 rows and I was making one column, then what should be the value of row span? Yes, row span is equal to 3. So the numeric number indicates number of rows that are being spanned, right? And here you are writing the value of the data that you want to get displayed into this table data or cell, right? So this completes my second row. I do not have anything else on the right hand side of 24, right? So this completes my second row. Now comes the third row. You can see in third row there are 2 columns, but the first column or first cell is having a data which is normal. So I am writing it as it is, that is TD, and you are writing Dhruvi, right? So this I know that I have to write this TD, that is I have to specify the table data and the value of that table data. Now what about this 24? This is a part of third row. Yes, it is a part of third row, but will you specify it over here? No. Why will you not specify it over here? Because in second row I have already told that the column of second row, that is the second column of second row, is a spanned column. It means it is combining second and third row. So in third row I don't need to specify it again. So this should be very clear. Again, student make this mistake many times. They write the row span over here and again they specify the row span in the third row. You have already specified that I am combining 2 rows in the second row, right? That you have already specified by this attribute row span. You don't need to specify it in the third row. So in third row you have to specify only those columns which are not combined, and we have only one column which is not combined, that is Dhruvi. So that we have written, right? So this was the syntax of this particular table. Now we are already seeing the structure of this table, that is SR number, department and staff table. This is your homework. You need to write the code for this table, right, using this row span attribute. Now similar to row span, I have already told you there is another attribute that is known as column span. Now when you combine 2 columns and you have a row, that is a combination of 2 columns, then you have to use this attribute called col span. So let us see this example. In this example, you can see that there are how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are total 4 rows in our table. The first row contains, you can see, let us first discuss the structure and then we will go to the code. You can see that in first row you have 2 columns which are totally normal. So you know that in first row you will use 2 th. Inside th you will write the data values, right? So the table data values. Now you have the second row. In second row also, does anything same spanned or combined? No. So second row also is a normal or simple table in which you again have 2 columns. The first TD is Shruti, the second TD is 24. Now comes the third row. Can you tell that anything is complex in third row? Again the answer is no, because it is again a simple row in which you have 2 columns, that is 2 TD. The first TD contains Dhruvi and the next TD contains the value 16. Now comes the fourth row Does anything seem weird in fourth row? Yes, because the fourth row has some sort of combination, some sort of spanning. The previous thing that we saw was row span. When you are combining two rows for forming one column, then it is known as row span, whereas when you are combining two columns for forming a row, that is known as a column span. So here you can see in the fourth row that you have combined the two columns in one, and you have one row itself, right? So the last row consists of how many columns? Only one column, right? So let us see the syntax of this particular table. So we know that the first thing that we will do is again write the table tag, that is a parent tag, table start and table end. For the first three rows, the coding is very simple, that we have already discussed. They are normal tables in which you have the rows and two columns each for three rows. So the first row contains tr, start, tr, end. Inside that you have the first td for name and the second td for expense. So instead of td, why have we written th? Now it is clear, because it is table heading and usually we want bold and center look. So th for name and th for expense. So two columns completed. The first row is completed. Now comes the second row. In second row, you can see that again it is a simple table. In second row, you have one TD for Shruti and one TD for 24, right? So that is again a simple table structure in which you have a row, inside you have two columns, or you can say two cells. The next or the third row is again a simple TRTD format, in which the third row we are defining the TR, we are defining 2 TD. For the first TD Dhruvi, for the second TD you have 16. So till 3 rows we are going similar to the simple table. Now comes the fourth row. In fourth row you can see that fourth row is not a simple row. Instead it is the combination, or it is combining two columns for making one row. So in the fourth row you can see that I have specified only one TD, because both the columns are combined. So how many columns are there now? Only one. So you don't need to specify any other column. So there will be only one TD. For one TD, what is the thing that I have specified? Exactly, because it is a spanned you can say row, it is combining two columns. For this TD, which attribute you have to specify? Exactly, you have to specify col span, COLSPAN, that is the spelling, col span. Do not write the whole thing column span, that is not the attribute's name. What is the attribute's name? Col span. Is equal to, again in row span we were writing the numeric value based on the number of rows combined or spanned. Similar to that, here we are writing the numeric value or the value of our attribute col span according to the number of columns that we are combining. So here you can see how many number of columns we are combining. Yes, exactly. 2 is the number of columns that we are combining, so I have written is equal to 2. If you are combining 3 columns, you have to write 3. If you are combining 4 columns, you have to write 4. And obviously you are writing the data value in between this TD, right? And this completes your fourth row, because you don't have any other column, and this completes your col span. Okay, so this was all about col span and row span. Now let us see some of the attributes which are very popular in table and which are used in table, right? So these are this attribute list. We will go through this attribute list. The first is align. Okay, so these are the attribute list which are very popular and used along with table. Let us go through them one by one. The first attribute is align. Now whenever you want to visually align the table, right, so you can write this attribute. So these are the possible values. You can align it left, right, center, you can justify it, right? So these are the possible values. You have to write align along with the table tag. The next is BG color. BG color specifies the background color for your table, right? So along with table tag, if you write BG color, it means you want some sort of color in your table. So these are the possible values. There are three formats in which you can specify the color. The first one is RGB format. Inside it is written X, X, X. So this 3X specifies the intensity of red, green and blue. So the first X specifies the intensity for red. You have to write the value between 0 to 255, where 0 means zero intensity of red, you do not want red, and 255 is the highest intensity of red. Similarly, you have to specify for second X intensity of green color, and for third X you have to specify the intensity of blue color. Right. The next is you can also specify the hex code. Right. For hex code you have to write hash and you have to write numbers. Right. So how can you write numbers? For example, hash 000000. It means 0 intensity for red, 0 intensity for green and 0 intensity for blue. So the first two number that you are writing after hash indicates the intensity for red. That number can range from 00 to FF, that is an hexadecimal value. So 00 indicates lowest value for red color, FF indicates the highest value for red color. Similarly, the second two digits, that is if you are writing again 00 in the second two digits, it indicates 00 intensity for green. Similar to that, you can write the highest intensity. In between also any number you can use. Accordingly, to the intensity that you specify in hexadecimal or RGB, the combination of red, green and blue will give you an output of some color, right? And the last is you can statically write a color name like red, green, blue, etc. But there are limited color names which are available to you because there are lots of numerable colors which are available. But if you have to write these names, this is impossible, right? So there are limited color names which are acceptable for our BG color value. So you can go for RGB or hexadecimal if you want some color which is not available in our color name list, right? The next is border. Now by default table will not have a border in your web browser. You need to explicitly specify the border attribute if you want the border outside your table and inside the table as well, right? So you have these lines, vertical lines as well as horizontal lines inside the table, and you have a surrounding table border. If you want this border, you have to specify border, and the value for border is in pixels, right? The next is cell padding and cell spacing. Now we are going to study what is cell padding and cell spacing with example, but for now you understand that cell padding basically defines the space between the cell and border and their content. Okay, so basically cell padding is the space that you have between the border and your cell, whereas also you have to specify the value in pixel, whereas cell spacing is the inter-cell space. Okay, so there is no space between cells by default, right? So they are closely aligned, but if you want that your cells should be having some sort of space, that is inter-cell space, want that there should be some space between two cells, you can specify in pixel the cell spacing as well. And the last is width. You can specify the table width as much as you want, right? So that you can specify in pixel or percentage. Also cell spacing and cell padding along with pixel you can specify in percentage as well, right? Now let us see an example so that it gets clear that ma'am, what is this cell padding and what is this cell spacing. This is cell padding. You can see that if you have a table which is not padded, right, so your content and border does not have any space in between. Instead, if you have cell padding, so here the value I have written is 15, so that is in pixel, 15 pixel, right? So if I am giving this cell padding value then to the table, then you can see that there is a space between the content and its border everywhere, right? Left side, right side, top side, bottom side, it will give 15 15 15 15 pixels. So that means cell padding is the space between the content and its border. The cell border and cell content space is known as cell padding. The next is cell spacing. So what is cell spacing? Here you can see the visible difference. So you can see in the previous you can see over here that all the cells are intertwined. There is no space between this January cell, February cell, March cell and April cell. Whereas if here I am giving cell spacing is equal to 15, you can see that all the cell strings and there are some spaces between them. So you can see these are the spaces that I have highlighted, right, between age and branch, between age and name, right. So this is cell spacing, that is space between two cell, inter cell spacing. Okay, so this was all about the attributes of table, that is cell padding, cell spacing and other attributes. This was all about table and this was all about today's lecture. Thank you.